How do you deal with the end of last year? Do you put it away, or do you let it burn as you go into this year?
Handling failure or challenges tells a lot about someone's character. One of the things you have to be careful about is, how you kind of categorize last year, because we had a great year. I mean, we were the best team all year, had a great record to prove it, and just didn't do what we needed to do in the finals to a really, really great Indiana team. They were playing so well. So that's the kind of, mix of like happiness because we played so well, but just disappointment and not finishing. So I take that disappointment of not finishing and use it, to remind myself that, how hard this is, and just using it in a good way to motivate me to, every game we have to get better.
So speaking of character, we saw a lot of that in China. Your 60-point game was highlighted, and you filed a recent column of yours. How have you been building this offseason?
Building
Character.
Coming back from China was a really cool experience, just to be able to embrace that culture and reach out to my teammates in ways that didn't necessarily involve language, since that was a barrier. And I felt like I represented well for our country, for my family, for myself, and trying to be a really good teammate to my Chinese teammates. And then coming back to the country, just hooking up with some really great nonprofits like Athletes in Action again and United Way with some early grade reading activities at some conferences has been really cool to just raise awareness about a subject that's really close to my heart, and education.
You've been taking up some advocacy work as well in some other areas. Would you mind elaborating on that?
Yeah, outside of the early grade reading that I did the last couple of months, there's another movement called the End It movement, which is shining a light on, it's a lot of nonprofits coming together called the End It movement, but it's shining a light on modern day slavery, which is a huge problem around the world, human trafficking. My city alone in Atlanta, from where I'm from, is a huge hub, unfortunately, which, when you hear facts like that in your own city, it gets you fired up to want to raise awareness. One of the things that I've been learning through my church back in Atlanta called Passion City Church, who got me involved in this movement, is the fact that the biggest thing you can do is not necessarily donate your money, but to get people talking about it, because it's a problem that it's like there's 27 million slaves in our current society around the world. That's unbelievable. And just getting people to talk about it and to know that there's a problem and find out what you can do to help in your city.
Coach Reeves said the expectations on you have expanded quite a bit, despite the success you've had so far. How are you dealing with those expectations, and what are your expectations for yourself as you guys move into this season?
Well, I've always had high expectations of myself. If someone's expectations of me are higher than mine, I have a problem with that. So, the matchup with Coach Reeve and her high expectations and my high expectations are a great fit. I'm going to be called to be an even better decision maker, which is the tough part, because that's a moment by moment. You can't really necessarily have an individual workout and say, I got better at being a decision maker. It only happens in the heat of the moment, in practice and in games. And so, having the ball in my hands, being able to be counted on as a consistent finisher, which is, Simone, and we've all done it at points, but Simone is looked to, I think, right now as that closer, and to be able to have those responsibilities, being my third year in the season, I think is an exciting challenge for me, and also just continuing to step up defensively as somebody who you can count on to get stops, which is who we are: defense, rebounding, and run.
More so than the other years I've seen, guys, this year it's almost like a reunion now when you're coming together, because this core has been around a lot. Talk about the strengthening of the chemistry, just having this core group together for at least as long as you've been.
I'm so blessed. Like, I come back every year just smiling, embracing everybody that walks through the door. I see Simone, I'm picking her up and hugging her, and I see Lindsay Whalen and just excited, and Rebecca Brunson getting here, and obviously we miss Taj, but I still get 3 of the 4 back. And then you have other unsung heroes like Monica Wright, who comes in looking absolutely amazing here in training camp, and some of our post players. Got Amber, my fellow classmate, and some new pieces. Janelle and the other rookies who are coming in, looking to contribute and help, and you can so tell when they're out there competing their tails off. So I'm excited. I mean, it's a new challenge, it's a new feel, but we still, at the core, we are who we are.
How much are the not the only more on the team? Can you give us your first?
I don't know
impressions
if
of
I
it?
like that. It's confusing. And we look alike in everything. No. And her birthday's in June. So she's like, I don't know. It's like she's got my name, my birthday month. We've had some tension. She can shoot the ball pretty well, so I let it go. I think her nickname is like trying to be birthed. But I think Coach Reeve just, sometimes says more. And I'm like, oh, you never call me more. What am I looking for? But Elmo maybe, just L and then more and then Elmo. I mean, it's trying, like it's coming, but
Can't force it.
we have to. It when it happens, we will know.
How about the atmosphere of this training camp compared to last year when it was all about road to repeat? The outside pressure, has that subsided?
The pressure is always high. Practices, I think, have been very good. We're taking it one day at a time. I mean, obviously, when the games get going, those competitive juices will be even higher. But I think it's been an extremely competitive training camp so far. And that's all we can do is worry about ourselves right now. There's going to be a lot of talk, a lot of people saying different things and talking about the Western Conference, and that's all and well. But if you don't get what you need to get done every day at work, it can be, just talk. So we want to make sure when the games happen, we're producing.
Maya, what's it like to watch Jackie kind of continue to come back from everything she's been through, 5 knee surgeries, and to see a player just with that determination still trying to make things work here?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. The heart, the love of the game that she has. I first met Jackie when I was maybe 15 at an All-American camp, and she was one of the best players in her class. And Tina Charles, who I played with at UConn, was really close to Jackie. They're in the same class, and so I met all those that class, very close with that class. So just to hear about her struggle, she was coming to UConn too. So I almost was her teammate then, but she just it's unbelievable to see her to come back and get out here and not to play with fear. I'm really happy she has this opportunity, and she's been she's been very excited to be here and contribute when she can.
Maya, besides with McCarville, besides being a good player, she's always had a pretty big personality. What are some of your first impressions of her, and how do you think that she can help?
Yeah, Janelle is definitely somebody who comes in with an attitude of, how can I help? How can I, make the people around me better? How can I give a good pass? She's always thinking about how I can facilitate and get people involved. She's a fun-loving, likes to cut jokes already, and she's, I think, going to be hopefully somebody who can be pretty consistent for us. I think this training camp is going to be a good process for her to continue to get where she wants to be and a good feel within our team. But the best is yet to come, for her with this Lynx organization. Since she's been away for a few years from the league, I think she's going to have a great run with us here.
How is Monica different from when you first saw her when you got here? How is her game growing?
She's even more confident, more sure of what kind of player she is. She knows where she's good, and she does it at a more consistent level. She's a great energy player for us, but I would just say confidence and just her ability to finish the ball. She can score a lot of points for us. She's strong, she's quick. There's nobody really like her on our team, and so
end to end,
end to end. She's, I'm not going to say, if we were on the line together, it wouldn't be close. But no, she's definitely with the ball in the open court. She's so fast and strong. She gets so low and she moves almost like a running back, and then she can, control it. She's gotten much better at controlling her speed and her strength at the same time, and it creates fouls because nobody else can really be that slow, that low, controlled and strong at that speed And so I feel like she's going to be one of our leaders in free throws.
You have Waylon and McCarville kind of reunited from their college days here too. What have you observed about their relationship, and what's it like playing with both of them on the same team?
Well, I mean, they definitely have an easygoing chemistry between each other, like like sisters from back when they were playing together. I think they're both great passers. So when you have two really good passers, and they can finish as well, on the court, you're going to get open shots. Like, I'm not worried about us getting shots. Both of them are going to make sure we get shots, and they're both great chemistry people. They're about the team, and they're going to lead it in that. It's about the team, and having not to worry about that is just going to let us be more free to score in many different ways this year.
Wow, what kind of impact do you think Griner is going to have on the league this year?
She's going to have an impact. I mean, she's somebody who there's no one really like her, and so she's going to create a unique challenge for teams defensively and offensively. I think it's going to be a fun challenge. She's going to do things that other players can't do, and when she gets in her comfort zone and she finds that at this level, it's going to be really hard to stop her. And she's definitely an exciting player to watch, and I think a lot of teams are going to be excited to play against her.